Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, third-year veteran writer, illustrator, publisher, comics news journalist, and worked in comics, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and role-playing games. And it is Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. I hope you all had a good Halloween. If you took your kids out trick-or-treating, hope they got good candy, or you saved some for yourselves. People asked me what I gave out for Halloween yesterday. I didn't do that. I didn't give out anything to trick-or-treaters because my neighborhood got a little bit snotty with me about what I used to give out, which were sketch cards and little action figurines and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. But anyway, see if people want to know what snacks I get. Well, I splurged and I got me some Reese's Take 5 in this empty bag. It's representational of everything I've eaten since 4 p.m. to now. This is why I don't get candy for Halloween, because I'm a diabetic and I shouldn't be eating this stuff. Oops. So that is another reason. And I think you may have heard the kitty in the background. Where did you go? Did you come back up here? Do you want to be on TV again? Come here. Come here, little one. Come here, little one. Oh, you're going to be fussy. Come here. No. 22 pounds or 20 pounds of black fury. Here he is. You've got to be seen. You've not just heard. Yeah, got to be seen and not just heard. Yeah, there's the Midnight Express here. Yeah. Ow. Pop culture, or I'm going to just say Raven. You are that whole bag. No, I'm not that whole bag. I wish I was only that whole bag. It'd be a lot smaller. Yes, I ate the whole bag in the last 4 hours. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Now it doesn't help. I'm hypoglycemic today for some reason. It's my blood sugar's all messed up today. Not because I just ate that, but other things. So I don't know, but yeah, I've had a splitting headache, and the only time my headache went away was after I started eating that stuff. So what can I tell you? But my blood sugar was not where it should be either. Way high for what it's supposed to be. So I don't know. My whole thing's screwed up, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the previews catalog right here, as well as the actual order form I got, which is not the customer order form. It is the actual retailer's order form, as you can see. And there is some discrepancies in the retailer order form that are interesting that I'm going to point out. And I'm going to speculate loosely. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we're also going to do crowdfunding first. Talk about crowdfunding stuff first. Not necessarily in the order of the projects as they were listed in the description below, but we're going to get to all of them, and we're actually should get started on that. So let's go ahead and stop that screen and share a different screen. There's so much of it. Let's start with the Baboon, the Temple of Eternal Life. This is a Crowdfundr page. Now, as you can see, it says sign in. I have not signed in yet. I have not opened this. I haven't opened an account with Crowdfundr. This is the first person I've known that even used this program. It's by Jamie Jones. I backed his earlier Baboon series, The Moose to the Menace, which I'll show you in a minute, through Kickstarter. And for whatever reasons, and Jamie and I did talk about it very briefly about that, but it was a few weeks ago, and I don't remember the specifics anymore, unfortunately. They said there was a lot of reasons why he decided to go with Crowdfundr. Hopefully, I will get a chance to talk with him later this week, and we'll have him on, and we'll talk a little bit more about this project. There are 16 days left. He's at 45% of his $9,000 goal at $4,017 pledged. This is an all or nothing campaign, personal campaign by Jamie. And let's take a look and see what Jamie has to say.
Hi, my name is Jamie Jones. I'm a cartoonist, and for the last few years I've been working on my pulp action adventure comic, The Baboon. And it's time for more, baby. So what started off as my love letter to pulp action adventure comics, stuff like The Spirits, Terry and the Pirates, Buzz Sawyer, has turned into something that I can't stop thinking about. The Temple of Eternal Life is the next in the ongoing adventures of the Baboon and crew. A full-color, 94-page, standalone, you don't have to have read anything before this, hardcover book is coming to your door. Well, let's take it down a notch. This is my best book to date, and I pride myself on making entertainment that is accessible and enjoyable for the whole family. I'm not lacing it with fart jokes for the kids or peppering in some innuendos for the adults. It should be enjoyed equally by both parties. So here's the thing, the book is done. So if this is something you are interested in and you want to get in on, go ahead and pre-order. That's how I'm treating it, kind of more mentally for myself. It's a pre-order for the book. So thank you for backing. The support for the Baboon over the last few years have been really amazing. And I couldn't do it without you. So, sincerely, thank you. I'm really excited for the future.
Okay. This is the Medusa Menace. I don't remember how many pages this book is, but it's a nice hardcover. Knock on hardcover. And this was the first book, and it was $25. And that's what the second book is going to be as well. It's $25. And he's got it set up here where you can get the physical copy for $25 with shipping. You can get a signed physical copy for $30. Both books, if you missed the first one, for $50. You can get a signed physical copy with an original sketch remark for $75. If you're a retailer, you can get 5 copies of the second book for 30% off. It's shipped as media mail to you. Or you can get a combination of book 1 and 2 as needed as well. So there you go, for $88 for 5 copies. Like you say, they sell at $25 each, so it'd be $125. You're spending $88. So you'll probably make, a good $30 profit on the set. You can get an add-on of a 4x6 color drawing for $30. You can get a signed copy with an 8.5 by 11 full color drawing for $200. And his full color pieces are pen and ink with marker and watercolor blends usually. So, nice stuff that he does. Or you can get the painting a painting at 11 by 14, which he does, I believe, with oils. I don't know if he's using oil or acrylics or watercolors or what necessarily. And he'll work with you to get the painting, character design, whatever you want. So there's quite a bit there. And if you want just a digital copy, it's $15 for a PDF. So there's a lot of stuff there. Now, I've been looking at this, and he said it's 94 pages, so it's going to be story. Pretty long story there for $25, worth your money. I'll show you the artwork of the story from Medusa Menace in just a moment. One thing I'm not really keen on is they kind of tell you everything of what people bought and what perk they bought and stuff. So I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing there. I don't know. At least I do have anonymous contributed, so I could just put Lewis Brothers contributed now to say exactly what I bought or did. Necessarily, I don't know. I haven't signed up into this format before, so I don't know how it works. So I'm probably going to back this because I backed the first one and I liked it pretty well. I gave it a 4.5 stars. North Free is in the house. Monster Fan is in the house. Let's take a quick look at the Baboon first book, Mucilid Menace. As I recall, when I reviewed this, I gave it 4.5 stars. If you like the spirit of carrying the pirates, like you said, this is kind of in that same vein. What do you think I was going to do? I just hadn't gotten to it yet. A little bit of a fight scene here going on. So there you go. That's what the artwork looks like. Story-wise, it's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Like I said, this is the second book, The Temple of Eternal Life. You can still get copies of the first issue, which is the Mucilid Menace as well. Again, it's $25 for the hardcover physical copy. Signed $30. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the cover here, a little bit better size here. I'm not really keen on their format on this format because this is Crowdfundr, folks, not Kickstarter or the other. I ordered the first one on Kickstarter before. You can get the first 2 books for $50 plus shipping. Here's some more artwork from the second book. And Grant is in the house. How you doing, Grant? Good to see you. Now, what I really do need to do real quick here, as soon as I get through showing these pages, and basically, if you're looking for what the little kid is, that's his nephew, who's like his kid sidekick Bucky type character to the Baboon, who's like an homage to the spirit, but not quite as, I don't know. He's a little cornier than the spirit in a way, but he doesn't have the sexual overtones that the spirit has in his, that Will Eisner put in the spirit with Pagal and the other characters. He doesn't really have that going on in his story here. So you can't, the Baboon is there, and again, Monkey Bones is his nephew and sidekick. Mel is his pilot. Brick is his another one of his sidekicks. Clayton's his accountant, more or less, and Frogman, ex-Frogman for the U.S. Marines. So it's a fun book. Hold on a second. There we go. Had to get rid of someone in the chat, block them. Hopefully we won't have too much of that nonsense tonight. So yeah. I'm thinking that's a pretty good buy there. Let me see if I can get the thing here. It doesn't show it, of course. Oh, there it is. That's what I wanted, was the link to the campaign. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link real quick so I can put it in the display here for you. There's the link. The link is also in the description below, so you don't have to write all that crazy nonsense down there, but there it is for you in the camera, in the screen for you. Yeah, it's very much pulp adventure-y type goodness. So, like I said, I gave the first book either 4 or 4.5 stars when I reviewed it. So, and I'll try and get Jamie on sometime, hopefully Thursday. He's got time to discuss it a little bit more. There's like 6 days left on the campaign. He's only about halfway through, and it's an all or nothing campaign. So we really should try and get that book fulfilled if we can. I don't know if he's going to stick straight to Crowdfundr. This was his first attempt with Crowdfundr. Again, we talked about why he went from Kickstarter over to Crowdfundr. I think there's some stigma attached to both Kickstarter and Indiegogo with all the whole nonsense of Comicsgate nonsense of who's who and what's what. So I think he was trying to, in part, get away from all that by doing a third platform. And I think there's some extra freedoms that are afforded on that platform, perhaps. So I think that's why he went to that direction. But I'll try and have him on the show later this week so we can discuss that at further length and check that out. Okay. Again, quite a bit of stuff there that you can get on that platform. So go ahead and check that one out. Alrighty. Our next book is, speaking of Kickstarter, is Bixby Grant Private Eye by Patrick Coyle. It's Mummy Detective versus Biker Werewolf. As a hard-boiled private eye hunts for the business tycoon's son, an 80-page original comic, it's exceeded its goal of 4,600, so over 7,500, has 166 backers with 2 weeks to go. Number 3, how you doing? He was on the phone making a call. Talking to sexfind.biz while I blocked. I'm kidding, North. But anyway, let's see what this is about.
Winhart Clomgold, you're coming with me. Not on your life, Batman. You'll never take me alive. Ah! What? We're rolling?
Well, I guess that's not what the comic is about. Darn.
Oh, hi. Do you love monsters, pulp heroes, detective stories, and double-fisted hoo-ha action? Do you want to help an independent comic creator fulfill a lifelong dream? Are you bad with money and willing to buy just about anything? If the answer to any of those questions is yes, you've come to the right place. I'm Patrick Coyle, creator and writer of Bixby Grant Private Eye, my first full-length, self-published, creator-owned comic. It's a project that I've wanted to make for 30 years. I got the idea for Bixby Grant when I was in college. I thought it would be fun to have a character who can't die, someone who could walk into any kind of dangerous situation. And I figured, as any logical thinker would, that a reanimated mummy makes for the perfect immortal hero. right? At the time, I was watching a lot of noir detective movies. So I put the two together, and voila! Bixby Grant Private Eye was born. But over the years, life got in the way, and the idea got put on the back burner. But I decided recently that I needed to get this idea out into the world, and now. I even sold part of my comic book collection to make it happen. And I'm super excited that it's finally coming to life. Here's the pitch. Bixby Grant is Hellboy meets The Shadow with a sprinkle of Batman the Animated Series in there. Bixby Grant is a hard-drinking, chain-smoking, gun-toting, mummy detective who'd rather just be left alone to stew in his own misery. He's friends with a gunslinger scientist, a 7-foot robot, a rockabilly vampire, and in this comic, his investigation pits him against a pack of werewolves. What's in it for you? First, we've got the 80-page comic with a 72-page main story and a 7-page backup story, featuring the amazing work of Chilean artist Gonzalo Martinez and color by Arthur Hesley. Seriously, look how gorgeous this book is. The book is lettered by DC and Image Pro Steve Wands, and the former Star Wars and Deadpool editor Heather Antos has been guiding the story with me and making sure everything runs on time as our editor. Check out these sweet variant covers from Eisner Award-nominated artist Jesse Lonergan and Eisner, Harvey, and Inkpot Award winner Raphael Albuquerque. You can also get Raphael's cover as a fold-out 20 by 30-inch poster. Plus, we have a set of 6 comic book art-sized prints of all 3 covers, plus pinups by Nightwing artist Geraldo Borges, Ninja Turtles artist Nelson Daniel, and Power Rangers artist Moises Hidalgo. Don't these look awesome? Other rewards include a Bixby Grant sketch by me, a Zoom call to chat with me about comics or, whatever. The chance to be a character in the book. Check this out. The chance to be a werewolf in the comic book. Please consider backing this project. I think you'll really dig it. And it will help make a lifelong dream of mine become a reality. Thanks. We can trim out the beginning part, right? Okay?
Monstrous says Heather Antos. No. I understand where you're coming from on that, but the thing is, there's a difference between being a proofreader and story editor and being dictator of the book, if you know what I mean. And I think in this situation, she's just being hired in the former, not the latter, because it's not a situation of corporate control over the property. So I don't think that necessarily her ideology is necessarily going to be that influential on the work necessarily. I didn't know she was on it. This is the first time I looked at the video. But I try not to let the oddball reputations of some of these people affect whether or not we buy books, because you're not just saying no to one person, you're saying no to the whole concept and to the whole team because of one individual. And she's not really the creator. She's just, if she's doing her job, you really don't even know she's there. So that's the main thing there. But yeah, if that's a reason not to buy, I totally respect that, Monster fan. But let's see what they have to offer as far as their project here. Mm-hmm. Again, it is an 80-page book. Square bound, full color. Basically going to be, I think it's going to be hardcover. No, it's prestige format. So if it's prestige format, it's soft cover. Perfect bound. Okay. With 72-page original story and a 7-page backup story. I guess there's a title page on there to make it 80 pages even, or maybe there's a blank page in there somewhere between the two stories, maybe. I don't know. So you got 2 complete stories and in there, and you don't have to worry about follow-up issues. So it's a one-time impulse purchase, which is always a good thing. Let's see here. $10 you get the digital format. $30 for 80 pages for the cover A. Shipping in the U.S. is free. If you're international, it's $30 U.S., which means you're paying a lot. $60 for a book for even an 80-page print edition is a little bit high. If you're international, I would recommend getting a PDF if you're into that. Otherwise, I don't know. Again, cover B by Jesse Longeren. And of course, all international backers do get the set of 6 art prints with the book, so at no extra charge, whereas U.S. Backers will have to buy the art prints separate, which that's fair. I mean, if you're paying an extra $30 for shipping and handling, they should get something more than just the book. Raphael Albuquerque, okay. Fan package. That's the fold-out poster for an extra $5. Okay. The fold-out poster is 20 by 30. That's a pretty reasonable full-size poster. Yeah, that's, kind of like the posters behind me on the wall, 20 by 30, like that X-Men poster back there. So it'll be something that size. That's not a bad deal there. Let's see. Whoops. Again, a lot of fan packages for different print covers. For $40, you get an ink sketch of the lead character, Bixby by the creator, Patrick. So, okay, that's fine. Same deal. If you're a big fan, you get basically a poster of everything and a sketch by the writer. Okay, that's fine. The hardcore fan package for $50, you get all the stuff above, plus buttons, the art prints, of course, all the different artists that he was showing you there in the video. Most of them are respectable creators. I certainly don't have anything against any of them, but none of them are particularly my personal favorites. But there's nothing wrong with any of them. You're going to get good work from them. So there's okay there. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad offer for different things. What's that? And then you can also have a metallic cover of the A cover. Let's see what the covers actually look like. They've got to have the covers here. Here we go. This is the A cover by Gonzalo Martinez, the B cover by Jesse Lonergan, and the C cover by Raphael Albuquerque. I actually like the first one the best, myself. The middle one's a little bit. I understand why it's laid out the way it is. There's nothing wrong with it. I think I like Martinez's art style a little bit better than Jesse's. Raphael is doing the more painterly. It feels like he's either Moon Knight or what's his name, Phantom X from X-Men in that piece with the werewolf in the background. That's what it just looks like to me. It feels like that. And whereas the other stuff feels more unique and original to what it is. Exclusive pinups that they were talking about. There's the 3 there. And again, those look okay. Nothing wrong there. One looks like he's against zombies. One looks like he's against a sewer monster. And one looks like he's jumping out a window, evading vampires. And since he's supposed to be fighting werewolves, I would have liked to have seen something where he's facing a werewolf is one of the exclusive pinups. Yeah, that's just me, though. And then I guess you can get metal covers for all 3, metal, metallic, whatever. This is the giant poster that you can get. And of course, it's the one that's the painted cover. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. It works for what it is. I just happen to like the other art better personally. those are the cast stickers you get as a unlocked extra. They've also got another art print by Gonzalo Martinez, regular series artist. That looks nice. And then they're going to unlock all three of the pinups as additional virgin cover variants. That virgin cover means there's not going to be any text on the covers. So if they get $8,500, where are they at? $7,500, so another $1,000 or so. They'll get that. You can pick your poison as an add-on once unlocked. Again, here are the A cover, which is the one I think is the best of all of them. Here is the second cover. And it looks okay. I don't know. I think I just like Martinez's work better than Lonergan's overall. But there's certainly nothing wrong with it. And then there's the Albuquerque cover, which you'll get as a poster as well. Now, am I the only one? Let's see. Well, it might be a well-written story. We'll see. Like you say, they sucker the completest collectors into buying the whole set. Yep. I think part of the reason that people do this, well, I don't like that version. Let's do it this way. Is they don't know what else to offer. It's become a very popular, trendy thing to offer the variant covers, and they don't know what else to offer. It's almost like an expectation from audiences now. This is one of the things that I tend, people ask me why I don't want to do crowdfunding for my own books. This is part of why, because I don't want to do all these extra gimmick covers and either do them myself or have to pay someone else to do gimmick cover to draw readership. I'd rather have all the pinups in the back of the book. You just get all the pinups in the back of the book if that's what it takes. But, I don't know. It is what it is. But we'll see. I haven't made up my mind just yet if I'm going to back this. If I back it, I'll just get the regular A cover, and I don't care about the rest of the stuff. I really don't. As you guys know, I'm not a big campaign buff on that stuff. I'd rather see something different. Personally, I would love to see a T-shirt on this. Maybe that's down here somewhere in the extra bonuses, but I don't think so. But a T-shirt featuring the character would be much more interesting to me. But the artwork here, the interior art, does have a very it's not quite, like he says, it has a touch of the Batman animated series feel to it a little bit. It's not quite the same style. It's got a little more roughness to it than the classic DCAU style. The color scheme palettes are a little bit different as well than what they usually do for the DCAU style. But you can see the influences there. It's set in 1931, apparently, or no. That's the character's origin. He got the Pharaoh's curse in 1931. Okay, turned him into a living mummy. Interesting. Okay, this is interesting. You got the Doc Stein, who is supposed to be, kind of like a Dr. Frankenstein sheriff, type guy, gunslinger type guy. Francine is the robot. She was a model and actress before an incurable disease caused her body to literally fall apart. Unable to save her body before it gave out, her brother placed her brain in a robot body while he continues to search for a cure. Well, if the body's already fallen apart, what cure could there possibly be? I'm going to build a model. I'm going to build the Bride of Frankenstein and stick your brain in it. Interesting, but okay. Muscles Marinara. Okay, these are kind of cool names. Okay, Diego is the 21-year-old vampire. Sort of. What's the guy from Preacher? Who's the vampire? I can't think of it. Cassidy. That's his version of Cassidy. I mean, immediately when I saw that, here's the hipster vampire with the sunglasses trying to be a hillbilly rock star. I'm like, yeah, that's Cassidy. So there, different things here, but yeah, it's a possibility for me. I don't know. I haven't committed to it yet, but it's a possibility. Pop Culture says, I believe we all would here in chat back your book if you ever decide to go forward. We'll talk about that in a little bit after we get through with reviewing some of this stuff. Because starting next month, I'm hoping to start drawing something live on the show where you guys can actually start seeing me working on something. So we'll talk about that more in a little bit. So anyway, that's that one. Let me go ahead and give you a quick link to that. Whoops, wrong button. I'll think of it here in a minute. Come on. Being silly. There's the link there. Again, all the links to all the crowdfunding stuff is going to be in the description of the video below as well. So, let's see. Our next book is Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie 1 and 2. I actually did get number 1 already. And I liked it. I believe I gave it a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5. It's a story that takes place in the 30s, and it's about a traveling circus of cryptids, monsters and mythological creatures, run by the Medusa ringmaster there, Miss Medusa. So let's see what all they got to say. Okay. Didn't care for that video. Didn't really much to cut. You couldn't hardly read any of the text. Oh well. I'm not really about that. Basically, it's 1963, and a carnival of 666 monsters isn't the draw it used to be. So the Monstrous Menagerie is one of the last two mythic shows left in the United States, trucking from one backwater town to the next. It's dirty work, and sometimes you barely make the nut, but America is still the land of plenty of rubes. For this season, at least, Miss Medusa is hiring, and you can still run away to join the circus. Mythics, cryptids, gods, and atomics only, please. Humans need not apply. Again, the three fairy characters here apparently are going to try and take over her operation or something, I guess, is the gist here. Issue 1 was pretty interesting, but issue 2, it's different around. But anyway, let's see. I wish that this didn't have the jumping around visuals like this. The art looks nice. The art is by Matt Frank for the figures, and Paul Haney, who writes the story, also does the background art in this. So it takes a little bit longer when you have two artists doing it and drawing it in that type of a collaboration. Let's see what they're asking for. $6 for a digital format, $10 for digital catch-up for both 1 and 2. That's 58 pages of comics total. $10 for the regular print edition, 28 pages plus extras. There is nudity censored version in this edition. There's a side sew edition with all the nudity that you want to see if you want to see it for $15. I don't know why they had to go with the nudity at all, but I guess whatever. Print catch-up. You get the regular print editions for both issues for $16. So I guess you can't get the naughty version with the print catch-up, I guess. I don't know. There's a magnet set that you can get for 3 magnets. Okay. Retailers get 10 copies for $38 or more. It's like $4 a copy, and they're charging you $10 for the cover price. So I think, all right. But let's see. This is the sideshow edition cover. I'm not that impressed with it. Here's some of the more interior artwork. It is definitely a mature readers type comic, though. So if you remember when I reviewed this, if you're into that, it's great. If not, you might want to pass. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to get number 2 yet or not. As you can see, the censored version where they have all the nudity, you can see where he's got a hand covering the boobs on the chick and this other guy's blocking the crotch area. I guess you're not going to see that in the other edition. You'll actually get to see the boobs. Okay, whatever. There's another silly way of blocking out the rear ends and the boobs, the way they drew it. I mean, okay, whatevs. Again, blocking it so I guess you're trying to be smart, Alex. I don't know what they're going to actually look like for the uncensored edition, but it is what it is. So there you go on that one. Campaign goals, of course, you can get a metal reflective bookmark, postcard, okay, whatever. Apparently they're part of some sort of Women a Kickstarter campaign, even though there's no women working on the book that I can think of. I guess it's just to promote some other stuff that has women lead characters or something. The only one of the other, well, actually I have heard of the game and I've heard of Reyna. I have not heard of Heirs of Isildur before. So, okay, whatever. If you back all 4 of those campaigns, you'll also get a free metal print of the 4 of them, which is this print, which, okay, I don't know who's the art. Von Randall and Robert Nugent. Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatevs. A little bit too manga, modern, whatever for me. I'm not sold on that. That's not going to make me buy all 4. Sorry, guys. But it's nice that they are trying to cross promote with the other ones and have the links. I'm not going to go to those links, but that's cool. Again, $6 digital edition, $10 regular print edition, $10 digital catch-up. The $15 sideshow edition has all the nudity in it, I guess. Print catch-up, you can get the first 2 books, regular editions. $30 gives you 3 magnets with the book. They do have a shirt with the Hot Nuts vendor. I don't really care, but okay. The old shirt with Miss Medusa was a much better shirt. I wish they'd have something a little more cool, but yeah, whatever. Let's see. Whatever, if you want a hologram cover, you get that for $90. I don't know what a splashboard is offhand, but okay. I guess you're trading cards of Miss Medusa there. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that tier. What that's supposed to be. That's the retail leader. Doesn't really say. So okay. I don't see it, but all right. Colored commissions. You can be in the book for $225, like you really care. I'm not going to say who's going to do that, because there's lots of people who do these sort of things and spend even higher money than that to have their likeness in a comic book. But I don't know. Quite a different set of tiers there. So. Like I said, I really do, you can get each one of those separate as well as add-ons. So it's okay, I haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to get number 2. I liked number 1, but did I like it enough to spend $10 an issue? So apparently they don't, because I had no face of I see it. So I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, well, again, that's what this is what happens with these campaigns. They have way too much stuff going on, trying to get you to buy something, anything, I guess. That's why I tend not to get so wound up in the crowdfunding as I used to. I think, because I get burned out on that stuff. But if you're interested in that one, There's the link for that one. I spent a lot of money on add-ons in the past. No longer. Just give me the book, please, and thank you. Yeah, I agree. Unless there's a specific add-on you really want. Like when I got the first issue of Medusa of this series, I bought the T-shirt because I did like the T-shirt. But I didn't get anything else but the T-shirt and the comic. There was a ton of other stuff with it, but I don't care. I don't want it. So. I even told them, even if it's stuff that you give away free, don't add it because I don't, people send me stuff that's, everybody who backs it gets it type stuff. And it just sits around the house. I got no place for these patches and stickers and junk. What am I doing with this stuff? Well, maybe next year I'll throw them out to the kids for Halloween. That's what I'll do. Here, have them. What is this weird stuff? Anyway, that's that one. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We got quite a bit to go through still, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your take on things. Let's see. This is Monkeys Fighting Robots, the magazine, number 4. This is the Comic Convention edition. It's curated comic book strips and articles about impactful comic books. Monkeys Fighting Robots is kind of like Wizard magazine with better articles and comic book strips included in the magazine that are original creator-owned stuff. So if you liked Wizard back in the day but thought they were a little bit too much fluff pieces and that they should have covered more independent scene, this might be up your alley. They have a $500 goal. They've surpassed that at 532. They got 29 days to go. I don't know where my copies of the first 2 or 3 issues are, but I have backed this in the past, and I'm going to back it again. But this one is focusing on the theme of comic conventions and the difference of going to a show versus buying everything online with a mask over your face at home, apparently. Interesting looking cover. Jeffrey Krozik did this. Pretty cool looking. It does really feel like what would happen at a convention in a way. It's a good feeling there. I like that. I like that drawing. But they have articles about Steve Ditko, the drunken side of comic conventions, dollar bin diving, conventions being featured in comic books, Spider-Man's anniversary, this is his 60th year, and more, as well as their best of 2022 and actual comic storylines from various creators. It's 48 pages. It's 8.5 by 11, like the regular magazines are, for the oversized comic book panel, so you can see stuff. And it has a good 100-pound weight gloss cover. Some of the comic book strips are My Name is Death by Sam Blanchard, Jesus the Christ, Dinosaur Slayer by Ruben Diaz, Vanessa Cardinale, and DC Hopkins. Just quite a bunch of different stuff. I'm a little bit surprised that there isn't another Jamie Jones Monkeys Fighting Robots strip in it. For those of you guys who looked at the Baboon a little bit earlier, I don't know where my Monkeys Fighting Robots stuff is, but that is one of his main things with Matt Sardo. And I just got their Monkeys Fighting Robots trade paperback collection, collecting all the comic strips for that a little while ago. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. But this is the art for My Name is Death. This is the art for Jesus the Christ, Dinosaur Slayer. Wish I'd seen a little bit more than just that. Eli Schwab's Cosmic Lion. Very alt flavored stuff this episode, I guess, this issue. Jason Lapidus art and Jerome Cabanatan. Rewards is you get the magazine. You can get digital, a standard, a vintage, or a chromium cover. The standard is what you see on the left. The vintage is the one that looks a little bit faded out with the ripped fake cover, like it's like an old version of it, like dilapidated, but it's not actually dilapidated. It just looks it. Here are the first 3 add-ons for the previous 3 issues that you can get back issues. You can also get extra copies and a monkey pin. What can I say? They'll be announced at 1,500. Yeah, they haven't got anywhere close to their stretch goals, so they haven't got anything to announce yet. Not a whole lot there to add on. They're printing over at Comics Wellspring, which is fine. Let's see. That's pretty much all there is there. So how much are they charging for it? Well, it's $10 for the print edition. And you also get a website thank you on their founder's wall. You can get the vintage cover, which is the one that I showed you was a little bit like a tore up type cover or whatever. There's a chromium cover, shiny, whatever. That's $30 instead of $10. I'll take the $10 version over $30 anytime. There's only going to be 25 left, though, of that chromium cover, or 25 total, and they've only sold 2 copies. Wow, okay, whatever. Retailers get 5 copies of the book for $30, so they're selling it at $6 to the retailers, giving them a 40% discount. I think that they should go a little bit better than that for retailers if they really want to get retail support personally. 40% isn't enough for retailers these days. That's part of what they're complaining about with Diamond. So, I don't know about that one. There's only 10 slots available and no backers. Not exactly a surprise there. You can get all 4 for $40 if you haven't gotten the earlier issues. And I have reviewed all the earlier issues, and they were pretty good. I gave them 3.5 to 4 stars on all of them. So certainly do like the magazine. I just wish they'd do something a little bit more retailer friendly to get their stuff out there. For $50, you can get all the different version covers. Who cares? You can buy a full page ad. I don't need a full page ad for $250 in their magazine. So there you go. But I'll get it, but I'm just going to get the regular edition for that. There is no price guide. It's just the articles and the comics. If you took away the price guide, the Wizard, you'd probably get about a 60-page magazine. This is 48, so there you go. This is the link. And again, all these Kickstarter and Indiegogo and Crowdfundr links are also in the description of this video. So you don't have to freeze the video and then write down the thing or whatever. Or cut and paste out of the chat or whatever. Okay. Next one is Polar Paradox, Equator's End. As you can see, I've already backed this one. This is the continuation of the series Polar Paradox. I don't know if you guys remember when I did the review on the first 2 issues, but this is kind of like issue 3 of 4. But what they did was they did 2-part series, but still continuing the story.
Hi everyone, my name is Frank Martin and I'm the writer of The Polar Paradox. This campaign is for Equator's End, a sequel to the original Polar Paradox, which take the setting from Antarctica to deep jungle caves and beyond. The story continues as the survivors from the first Polar Paradox look for answers to the mysteries they uncovered. Their search takes them to some of the deepest caves on Earth, where danger lurks around every corner. If you missed the first Polar Paradox, then don't worry. Plenty of catch-up tiers are available, as well as variant covers and other sci-fi add-ons. If you're interested in the project, then click the Back This Project button at the top of the page or select a reward tier of your choice. Thanks for checking out the Polar Paradox, and we hope you enjoy the adventure.
Okay, there are $2,739 of a $3,000 goal with 3 days to go. Hopefully this will make it. This is one I will back. Actually, already did back. Pledged my $10 for the regular edition standard cover, as you can see here. My selection. There it is. There is free U.S. shipping. I believe I gave the first part of the story a 4 when I reviewed it. There are standard editions with connecting covers between issue 1 and 2 by the interior artist Antonio Mastria. There is a Kickstarter exclusive variant by B Studios. There's other things here that you can get as well. I'm really not a big deal on that. They got different tiers for digital. If you want all of the books, digital like that, print and digital, I guess you get for $22. For $25, you get the variant cover. Again, not really caring. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, all this extra stuff, unless you haven't already gotten it, I just do the regular from Frank. But everything I've read from Frank so far has been pretty good. So, he also allows you to buy a short story commission from him. You tell him the subject, and he writes a 1,000-word short story for $125, which has nothing to do with the comic, but you can anything you want, pretty much, I guess. Your own personal short story. And that includes all the covers and all the extra stuff with the comics as well. So for $250, you get a black and white sketch cover commissioned by the interior artist. For $300, you get a story and the artwork combination. For $550, you become a comic character. It's like I said, that's a new trend in a lot of people. Is become a character in the comic. I don't see the point. For $875, you can produce a short digital comic with him. In other words, you plot it, he writes it, or co-writes it with you, and Antonio draws it. That's not a bad price but it's only 5 pages for a short digital comic. So, I don't know what you guys can do in 5 pages, but I do my own. But anyway, there's your tiers. Again, I just got the regular standard cover edition. So. And I can see people are getting either tired of these or people got kicked out of the room somehow, maybe. Who's left? Who's watching still? Let me know. Anyway, we still have a few more to go. These are going to be things I hope are a little more to your thing. I hope. I don't know. But I know you guys also want to quickly get into the previews. No one's responding. Because I had 5 people in the room, and all of a sudden I got only 1. Did I somehow have a disconnect and a reconnect, or what's going on? I don't know. Alrighty. Well, hopefully people will be back in the room shortly. We'll go ahead and just move forward and get this thing finished. The next one is the complete Web of Horror series from Indiegogo, Dana Marie Andra from the UK. This collects the entire Web of Horror classic series. That was 3 issues that were released between 1969 and 1970. And so all the stories that were originally in there and stories from the unpublished 4th issue, all in one book. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to the creators or their estates. You've got artwork by Bernie Wrightson, Michael Kaluta, Jeffrey Catherine Jones, just all kinds of stuff in here. This is a definite buy for me. You got Wrightson, Jones, Kaluta, Bruce Jones, Ralph Reese, Frank Bruner, Roger Brandt, Wayne Howard, Sid Shores, Norman Nodell, Tony Tellerico, Otto Binder, Terry Bisson, Marv Wolfman, Mike Friedrich, Nicola Cudi, Clark Diamond, and Ron Barlow. So all those things there, and a lot of these stories were thought to be lost and never found. The Monster Jar, which is one of Bernie Wrightson's stories that was long thought to be lost to the world. This is going to be completely reproduced and restored from the original pages. So there you go. It's going to be hardcover, 8.5 by 11, 250 pages, and the whole book is $100, and it's worth the $100 to me because this is like getting the EC quality type stuff, and it's coming out basically from Fantagraphics type release book. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and get this one. I just haven't ordered it just yet. I would get it through this because chances are it's going to be 125 to 150 through Fantagraphics directly when it comes out. Because I'm assuming that it will come out through Fantagraphics, but it's probably going to be 100, 150, maybe a little bit higher even from them. This is kind of like a pre-award setup. There's also first 100 copies sold. The normal print run to give away as an incentive. And this reward upgrades a signed numbered book plate with art by Bernie. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff there. There's the Bernie Wrightson art, that book plate you're going to get. Signed by Dana Andra. And the first 100 copies with a number. Exclusive book plate there from Art with Bernie Wrightson. So if you love Bernie Wrightson, check it out. 100 pledges of $30 also get a limited edition portfolio of postcards with the covers by Catherine, J.C. Jones, and Bernie. So you get the postcard set. There's the Reese thing, and there's the plates of the stuff by Bernie and Jeffrey with the books, with the plates signed, or not signed, but print signed by the signatures of the artists. Unfortunately, of course, Jeffrey and Bernie are no longer with us. So, here's some of the other artwork here. Again, this is the classic stuff that you're going to get. From Bernie and others. Here's Wayne Howard. More Bernie. There's a lot of Bernie in this. So if you like the classic 60s and early 70s Wrightson and you don't have it, or you've watched Aaron Lepresti gush over it over on his channel, you can say, shh, don't tell Aaron, get the book, and then go, look what I got, Aaron. If he doesn't know about this, I'm surprised. I would be very surprised, but some Sid Shores art here. More Ralph Reese. The Web of Horror has a little, I don't know if you guys, there's your host instead of Uncle Creepy. You get a spider-like creature host there. I'm not sure why this magazine didn't do better. More Bernie Wrightson kind of doing the Frankenstein motif again, one of his favorite things in the world to do. Michael Kaluta. And again, the Monster Jar by Bernie from 1970. So there's patron pledges as well. I don't know what those actually mean. They don't really describe it. So, you can get the postcard for $30 and the book for $100. I'm going to get the book. I'm not really worried about the postcards, but definitely going to get that out. They're supposedly shipping it next month in December. Or no, pardon me, December of 2023. So the end of next year. So yeah, okay, that makes sense now. But again, how many pages is this bad boy? 250 plus pages for $100 of Bernie Wrightson and artists from the studio. Yeah, gotta get it. Got to get this. So I'll definitely be backing this one. Let's go ahead and there's the link to that one. Okay. Next one is Rocket. which is, again, kind of another modern day Wizard type thing for independent comics. We'll see what they have to say.
That's primary occasion. Rocket Magazine, built to propel indie comics into the stratosphere. A modern ode to publications like Wizard, Epic Illustrated, Alter Ego, and Heavy Metal. Featuring Billy Tucci, Dan Fraga, Andy Smith, Peter Cimetti, and Mark Holt. Additional content, from tutorials to previews, from the Barton Brothers, Crowfire Studios, Kier Covington, Dean James, Rob Arnold, and many more. Become a part of the mission.
Okay, there's apparently an issue before. I don't know what all you can get. Basically, I guess they're going to promote different books by that click group, Tucci, Fraga, Polton, Cimetti, and Smith. Full payload, you get the first 2 issues, a t-shirt, a beanie hat, and a koozie for $115. Okay, whatever. $25 for the magazine, $35 for the magazine and a koozie, $45 for the magazine and a beanie, mission to them with a magnet and shirt and other extras is $55. Orbit is all the stuff again. What they don't tell you is how do I get number 1? I guess the only way you can get number 1 is to get the full payload. I don't know, but there's interviews with Tucci, Fraga, Smith, Cimetti, and Polton. No big deal. Writer profiles and sequential art previews and excerpts showcasing different creators. Kier Covington from King Crypto from Alterna, J.P. Black's How to Die, Crowfire's Band of the Crow, and quite a few other stuff. Tutorials on crowdfunding tips. Just a lot of different stuff in there, which, okay, fine. There's your sort of your interviews with Boy Tucci. They got some fan art in there. This is kind of a CG promotion, I think, more than anything else. Look at all the cool stuff CG does, which, no problem. That's fine. No problem with that. I don't know what this Peter Orchard character is. Obviously, that's a fan sketch of Cyberfrog that actually looks probably better than the stuff that Ethan does, but that's beside the point. Different stuff in here again, and kind of letting you know who some of the people that are on these people's networks and channels when you see them on their podcasts, and who's this guy? That's what a lot of these articles are. It looks like a little bit of dynamic storytelling from Dean James, and whether there's anything there that you can really know or whether it has anything to do with him, who says. Steve Dye is the one who overviews it, and again, he's in Comicsgate. He's working with Van Sciver, John Malin, Shane Davis, T. Barra, Diaz Brothers, Simon Simpothier, Vault Cobalt, etc. Now, whether he's contributing, meaning money, or if he's actually working in something to do with actual production, I can't say it. That statement's a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to say the contribution means money-wise and not necessarily creatively, although he might be working with those people creatively as well. So, whichever way, it doesn't matter, or both. It's 120 pages or more. It'll go print after the first year and delivered to all the backers with high-gloss printed products and shipped in a secure Gemini mailer. Again, I kind of wish there was something more about the number 1 issue listed here offered. because I didn't see number 1. I mean, this is the first time I heard of it. But, we'll see. I haven't made up my mind. They're at 77% with 73 backers with 20 days left. We'll see. And it's a flexible goal, so it's going to receive the money regardless of whether it receives its goal. It's still going to go to print no matter what, the way I look at it. So we'll see what happens with that. And let me go ahead and there you go. There's Rocket Magazine. And again, all of these links to the crowdfunding sites are going to be in the description of the video. And closing out our discussion of crowdfunding is Galactic Rodents of Mayhem Rat Trap from Gilly Writes Comics. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem came out through Scout Comics originally. I guess he's self-publishing again. I got the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem stuff from him. They're capybaras, kind of like giant rodents that are rather big, actually. Let's see if we can look at the video real quick.
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem is a comic book love letter to video games, anime, and Saturday morning cartoons. That's why, when compared to the competition, our comic book is bigger and better. More room for our awesome art and killer story. I mean, look at that. It's like you pressed pause on an anime. Oh, and never ever call them rats. They are capybaras. Space capybaras. Wait, what? Some of you don't even know what a capybara is? Oh, come on! Okay, here goes. Capybaras are the largest rodents in the world. They can swim and hold their breath for up to 5 minutes underwater. Oh, and they are super chill, getting along with almost every animal you can think of, even crocodiles. Can you believe it? Oh, except snakes. They hate snakes. Our story is centered around 3 capybara bounty hunters, Bash, Ripple, and Mona Lisa, and their gunslinger gecko dad, Gangon. They are on the run after an interstellar bounty has been suddenly placed on their heads by a sinister figure from the past who goes by Dark Raider. They're dodging everything from sniper vipers to turtle ninjas, a hulking street shark, even a fox in a star t-shirt. Are you getting it? The references? Don't let them fly over your head. This comic is driven by passion, fueled by the good old days where stories weren't just meant to push toys. So please, if you like what you see, consider supporting the work of our culturally diverse creative team and sharing the awesome Grom news. There have been those who are keen on keeping our amazing capybaras in the darkness, away from watchful eyes, intimidated by their unapologetic coolness. We must rise above and go beyond our potential. To do that, we need your help. So please join the Mayhem Army today and support your galactic rodents of mayhem. Come for that sweet feeling of nostalgia. Stay for the mayhem. Gilly Writes Comics here. I want to thank you so much for checking out our Galactic Rodents of Mayhem campaign. Your support goes way beyond measure, and I want to thank you guys because without it, we can't make cool, awesome, tangible Grom comics. This is a comic book love letter to our childhood, video games, anime, and all we want to do is keep on making awesome stories for you. Our franchise, our brand can't grow without your support. So thank you so much. The team appreciates it so much. I want to thank you guys again for checking us out. So next time, geek out.
Okay, like I said, this actually came out through Scout Comics at one time. I think it got one, maybe two issues and didn't get enough support. That's why it's back on Indiegogo. That's kind of why he referred to the powers that be trying to block him or whatever. And when I say that, when he says the powers that be, he's not talking about Scout. He's not even necessarily talking about Diamond. He's talking about, although Diamond probably does have some effect in this, it's the attitude of retailers. I showed this book when I got it to my local retailers here in Columbia, and they were like, whatever, why should I get this book? I don't see why it's so special, type thing. And it's not that they don't know what's special about it or what that's cool or not. It's that they're afraid if they actually ordered it and marketed it, it would outsell Batman and X-Men, and they don't want that, so they're not going to carry it. That's about the truth of it. So there you go. That's what he means by the powers that be trying to keep them in the dark so that you don't see it. But yeah, I'm going to back this one. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There's 25 days left. They got a $7,500 fixed goal, which means they got to get it or they won't get the book to do it. They're a little over 2,000. I'll probably get Gilly on here and talk about the book down the road. All the stuff which goes and gets all the different covers and stuff like that is $60. Cover A pre-order is $20. A Grom Taste bundle, I'm not really sure, $25. Digital pack gets all of the stuff from before. More bundle comics. Let's see what they got here. This is going to be ongoing. Again, they did the Smash debut 120-page Grom Volume 1 to life in 2019. Like I said, I remember it being over there through Scout. At least I could have sworn it did, but I could be wrong. But this is the next chapter. It's 8.3 by 11.5, so it's bigger than even 8.5 by 11. So. There's 1 and 2, more preview. There's your Creator's Cut series, 1 through 4. You can get all 4 of them plus the new one for the new issue. That's the first season complete. And then this is issue 1 and 2. There's bonus features in there as well. So you get all 5 books for how much do they want for all 5 books? $60 for all 5 is not bad. So I don't remember. I remember getting like the first book is all I remember really seeing, and I could have sworn it came out from Scout. I'll have to find my copy. There's plenty of time. I will back this one 25 days. So we'll revisit this one, hopefully with Gilly. We'll talk about it at length because I'm pretty sure I saw this. I originally got this through Scout, but I'll have to check. But variant covers are there, stuff like that. So, yep, there it is. First comic appearance in comic shops with version cyberpunk variants. There's your Scout Comics. There's that. I knew there was a Scout Comics version. So there you go. Those are add-ons as well. So get original art page by the original artist, add-on only. You can get a commemorative certificate of Mayhem. Stretch goals. They got posters and all kinds of stuff as well. So quite an interesting thing going on. Again, I will back this. I don't know. Since I don't remember getting anything but the first issue, I'm probably going to end up getting the whole Grom bundle there. But we'll see up the road. And that is me copying again. And there's a link to that one. And that does it for our crowdfunding discussion for the evening. Well, thank you for watching that part. Now let's quickly get zipping through here to previews. Because we have to talk about previews before we can head out for the night. And there's quite a bit to talk about. Let's see what's going on. Yesterday we talked about what was available in the recent catalogs from Marvel and DC. And of course, they now go through separate catalogs. They always had separate catalogs when you were going through Diamond, but now that they go through different distributors, you got different things going on. But this is the new previews catalog. Cover, Darkwing Duck on one side, and Doctor Strange bust on the other. Let's see what else is going on. Image Comics. I don't like the way they've redesigned the look in their section. It used to be pretty formulaic and pretty straightforward. White backgrounds with just the covers on it, and you could read it fairly cleanly. Now they're doing these weird things where they got the artwork behind the stuff, and they're trying to read it over the artwork, what the book's about. Or then they'll do something different, which is closer to what they used to do, but it's different layout and format, different text. Again, they're doing these full page blown up messes of what the artwork is. Here's another one that's really screwed up here. Just do all the artwork and over the, all the text over the art and make it difficult to read. Not too pleased. So a lot of this stuff kind of turned me off of that as far as their presentation in the Diamond catalog. The only thing that really grabbed my interest was Creepshow number 5 on page 70, which I've been reviewing Creepshow first 2 issues. I just reviewed Creepshow yesterday for issue number 2. Junkyard Joe number 4 on page 75 and Voyages number 3 on page 85. None of the new series that they were launching in this catalog for this month upcoming really interested me at all, unfortunately. The next section was Boom Studios. If you're into Frank Hubert's Dune, then the House Harkonnen number 1 of 12 on page 88 might be of interest to you. If you liked Rob Guillory's Chew Over an Image, then you might like Mosley on page 92. I only get House of Slaughter and Something Is Killing Your Children in trades, but for those of you who are into that series, they are available. There's also Specs number 3 on page 107, and Eve, Children of the Moon number 4, which I just reviewed number 1 of that series last week. So that's all of what Boom has to offer. Dark Horse, obviously the horse has all kinds of licensed character properties like Stranger Things and just, variety of different stuff, but I'm just not into any of that stuff personally. I'm more there for their creator-owned content, which they seem to be getting less and less of, it seems like. This month they only really offered Resident Alien, the Book of Love number 3, and that seems to be the only book I'm going to get from Dark Horse out of this catalog. Dynamite, nothing that really caught my attention, but clearly 90s Disney fans are going to be all about the Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck comics. Those are on page 158 and 165 respectively. And of course, Dynamite also has their regular list of usual suspects of licenses as well. Some of the old school fans out there might also be interested in their Dreadstar 40th anniversary trading card set. The only thing that I'm on the fence about buying is Lord of the Jungle, which is Tarzan comic number 3, page 192. I don't know if I'll get it or not. I've already ordered issue 1 and 2. I should like it well enough to get issue 3, but we'll see. Aftershock Comics. Maybe I'll get Fear of a Red Planet, and maybe I won't. That's on page 214. I didn't get the earlier issues, but this is only issue number 3, so maybe the series just hasn't launched in stores yet. Or maybe I'll just choose the trade weight. I haven't made up my mind. They've also got some young readers YA books in their backlist worth considering, notably Rainbow Bridge, which is about a boy named Andy who crosses the Rainbow Bridge to bring back his beloved dog Rocket. And then there's Side Effects about a college girl who has anxiety issues and gets treatment, and the pills that she's given give her superpowers. Not exactly the kind of help she needs. Those are on pages 220 and 221. Titan UK Publishing. I'm getting Kamen Rider 01 number 3 and Adam the Beginning volume 4 trade paperback on pages 228 and 229. Adam the Beginning is the precursor story to Astro Boy from Osama. Well, I can't think of his. Why can't I think of his name? Just give me a second. Osamu Tezuka. There we go. I was going to say something else. I was thinking Osama Tezuko, but it's Osamu Tezuka. There you go. All right. So there you go. I'm going to get those. Blaze Publishing. If you're into Something Is Killing Your Children, then maybe new series Children of the Black Sun will appeal to you on page 236. Personally, I'm going to trade weight that and see how it comes out, see how people receive it before I commit to it. There's also Traveling to Mars number 3 on page 245. And I thought I'd already ordered the Dragon Universe hardcover, which is on page 247. They've got it listed as a backlisted item. I have to check with my retailer about whether or not I ordered it already or if I need to order it. From AC Comics is a new horror anthology series called Cauldron of Horror number 1 with 3 stories by 2 different artists. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not, but it's in the same vein as Creep Show and the R.L. Stine book that I reviewed yesterday. So maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. Page 255. From Archie Comics, there is the one-shot called Archie versus the World, which is basically the characters the Archie universe set up in a Mad Max Fist of the North Star setting. It sounds silly, but might be fun to take a quick look-see at when it comes out. That's on page 265 of the catalog. From Band of Bards comes Bro D Can't Be Broken, trade paperback. This is a young adult manga-type comic in a post-apocalyptic world recovering from climate change when an alien invasion takes place, and only Brody, a genetically modified teenager, has the ability to take them on. Page 260, I'm going to get that one because it looks interesting to me. Someone is bound to ask me, because we were talking the last few days about EC comics and the horror comics of that era, and Drawing Quarterly has always got the EC archive volumes. I've never really mentioned them before. That's on page 299. They're certainly worth the $50 price tag per volume for hardcovers. But I just don't have the money to invest in all of them because there's usually 4 to 8 of them offered every month. And I suspect most other people don't have that money either, unfortunately. But I certainly would recommend all of that stuff if you are into that, or you've listened to me or others talk about the classic EC material. Again, page 299. I would also suggest looking at pages 300 through 315 in the Diamond catalog from this month in general. There's a variety of interesting hardcovers and original graphic novels from various publishers. I'm not going to pick anything up in that particular section of the book personally, but that's because my budget is tight and I need to cut back on my ordering. But if I had the budget to spend, there's probably another 3 to 7 books, I should say, that I'd consider in addition to what I'm already ordering. From Humanoids, there's Sapiens Imperium, which reminds me a bit of an old novel I wrote back in the early 90s, some 30 years ago, called Atmosphere, the Earth-Kateri War. So I'm going to get that just to see how close the two stories actually are. I don't expect them to be that close, but it just, something about the concept really reminds me of what I was doing with that back then. So we'll see. Also from Humanoids is Lugosi, The Rise and Fall of Hollywood's Dracula, on page 327 for $30. That's a biographical comic of Bela Lugosi. This probably should have been solicited back in July or August, so it would come out this past month in October. It would have fit the milieu, but anyway, unfortunately, I suspect scheduling got messed up because of COVID, which is still screwing up the supply chains for paper and other materials for book production, and also shipping and handling issues. So that's why it's coming out in January instead of October like it should have been. Didn't see anything from IDW Publishing this month. In fact, the last couple of trades or catalogs, I haven't seen any Usagi Yojimbo content featured, which is odd. Usually Stan Sakai's got something going on. I wonder if he's moving the product back to Dark Horse or something, because Dark Horse is offering reprints of the classic Yojimbo stuff. So I don't know. Interesting. There still has It's Alive Publishing being solicited in the catalog because they're usually a month and a half to 3 months ahead of time when you're sending your stuff in for production. But I want to remind you all that the publisher for It's Alive, Drew Ford, sadly passed away from COVID-related illness about 8 to 10 weeks ago. And there's no one else there. Those books aren't going to get fulfilled. And the properties are all going back to the creators because it's all creator-owned. It is quite sad because they did publish several titles that I was reading, including Holler and Strange Attractors and Dose, but it is what it is. I do hope everyone, as far as the creators, lands on their feet and finds new publishers that they're comfortable with working with very quickly. And, of course, our condolences to his widow. A publisher to be on the lookout for 2023 will be Mad Cave Studios. Not only have they recently acquired Paper Cuts as part of their new merger, they picked up Mike Martz from Aftershock as their new executive vice president and editor-in-chief. They've picked up Mark Irwin as their VP of business development, and both of those guys have serious experience in the business and know what they're doing. As Aftershock grew pretty decently in terms of production over the last few years under Marx's leadership, I expect Mad Cave will do so as well. I don't know whether or not this will mean that they will have stuff I will want to read, but I have bought stuff from Mad Cave in the past, and I have bought Aftershock books, so I have no reason to doubt they'll have something I want. But go ahead and check out their stuff at page 341. Oni Press has Dega Volume 1 on page 246. It's a bit pricey at $22 for 72 pages with a 6x9 cut size, which is okay, but it's just a digest size. But in my head, I had inverted the 21 to a 12 somehow. Big difference between $13 at $12.99 and $22 for $21.99 for the book. But I've already placed the order, so hopefully I'll like that book. They also have Pink Lemonade number 5 by our good friend Nick Cagnetti, who has informed me that Oni's been doing right by him so far, and his release has been doing quite well. Pink Lemonade came out like the new number 1 came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it seemed to sell pretty well. He's been having a pretty good turnout at signings and stuff like that. So he seems to be pretty happy to be there. So let's hope that continues. As with the EC archives, I'm sure people are going to ask me why I don't mention the PS art books collections of the 1930s and 1960s pre-Code War comics and science fiction and horror comics like Planet Comics, Weird Mysteries, etc. The reason I don't mention them on a regular is because the production of those books, in my opinion, is pretty bad. I tried a Planet Comics volume a number of months back, and the quality of the scans and printing did not measure up to the price point, in my opinion. Now, to be fair to them, they are trying to scan from actual comics from that era, not the original artwork, which has long since disappeared or been destroyed. And there's other stuff going on. So it looks like kind of like a weird glossy stock of faded out comic strips from decades ago, and it doesn't quite work for me. So I was just underwhelmed by those books, and I can't really recommend ordering them for myself. But that being said, if you are really interested in that old stuff, to get a grasp of Golden Age and early Silver Age material, the prices aren't that bad. I just don't think the quality of the production is as high as it should be. Rebellion 2000 AD is re-releasing The Ballad of Halo Jones omnibus hardcover. This is one of Alan Moore's lesser known but reputedly better works. $50 for 240 pages of story isn't too bad. And I've always wanted to see what the fuss was about with the story, so I'll be probably ordering this on page 362. Scout Comics will finally be releasing the final issue of Redshift, issue number 6, which is a resolicit from October 2021. That took long enough, didn't it? A whole year later. Page 367. Hopefully they'll get that ordered and I can get the end of my story. Tomorrow's, of course, has back issue number 142 on the schedule on page 387. Unfortunately, their subject matter this month really isn't my interest. It's Superboy in the Bronze Age, but I get this magazine on regular, so I'm going to shrug and go ahead and get it. I don't think it'll be a waste of my time and money, because usually they do good stuff, and I assume the quality will be there in terms of what the content will be. I'm just not sure. I think there's going to be a lack of personal interest in this one, because I'm really not a Superboy fan, but like I said, we'll give it a shot. Warrant Publishing has Shudder Magazine on page 398 in the magazine, or in the catalog rather. And of course, I've been getting Shudder Magazine from Warrant Publishing. If you like creepy or eerie from there, this is a modern day version of that. Pop Culture Avenger asked me about Xenoscope Productions or Xenoscope Entertainment, and why I don't talk about them very often, because I did mention them yesterday. about some of the artwork and some of the artists for their company. One thing, they never tell you who's actually drawing the comics. They just show you the covers and who the cover artists are. Now, they got some very good cover pinup talents like Igor Vitorino, Igor Lomov, Ignacio Noé, Michael Di Pasquale, but since they can't ever be bothered to solicit who the interior artist is, and outside of whenever Chuck Dixon moonlights as a writer for them, they rarely even have any writers of note. It's easy for me to ignore the product because it's not really conceptually my thing. But you know, I wish they would do a little bit better job at marketing whoever's doing their interior art on their stuff, but they seldomly do. That's the big beef I have with Zenoscope as far as that goes. And manga section, we have Viz's Comics with Kaiju number 8, trade paperback volume 5 on page 424. However, this book will likely be available at bookstores and at Walmart before the books arrive at the comic shops, so it might be cheaper to get it through Walmart or a bookstore than at the comic shop. I don't know. I'm going to order it through my comic shop just because I want to support my local comic shop. But I remember seeing Kaiju number 8, number 3, and number 4, and it was a couple bucks cheaper. So if you're on a tight budget and you want to try and get it cheaper, look for it at Walmart in the next month or two. Now, there's more stuff to be found in the catalog, but that pretty much sums it up for me this month and what I have interest in. And that is almost everything. I want to let you also know I did get a crowdfunding book in the mail yesterday. I got This Land number 5. This is the final issue of the series, or this arc anyway. Let me see if I can get this out. There's 2 books here. Okay. I don't remember ordering. Oh no, this isn't a book. This is a comic book size print. Okay. This is the print, This Land number 5. Kind of mocking the Deadly Genesis X-Men, Giant Size X-Men number 1 cover. Here's the actual book. I'm going to review the whole series 1 through 5. Can you guys see the midnight in the little corner there? He wants attention again. He wants to say goodnight to everybody. You want to say goodnight to everybody? Come here. Come here, boy. Come on. Come on. Oh, you big boy. Here he is. Here I am. Here I am. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go sleep in his lap now. Yep, that's what he does. He wants attention. Anyway, this is the last issue of this miniseries. I'm going to go ahead and review 1 through 5. I have reviewed 1 through 3, maybe even issue 4 in the past, but I'm going to re-review the whole arc next week. I'm also going to review several other books that I've gotten recently, including Monkeys Fighting Robots, which I talked about when we were talking about the Baboon, and the Monkey Fighting Robot campaign with Jamie Jones's artwork for the comic strip Monkeys Fighting Robots with Matt Sardo. Again, there's the print for This Land, and there's some other stuff in here. More prints in the trading card, I believe here. Yeah, they gave prints of all the covers, I guess, here. I'll show more of that next time because I got to get going here soon. But yeah, I'm going to review This Land and Monkeys Fighting Robots and Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales from Compass Comics. That's Graham Nolan and Company. And some other stuff that I've been sitting on for a while that I should have reviewed before that I didn't. So as Kitty sits here trying to get comfortable, I guess that Thursday we'll be back with What Did You Get This Week? Hopefully I can get Jamie Jones to come on and talk about the Baboon a little bit more and talk a little bit more about Crowdfundr. I'll talk to him tomorrow and see if he's got time to show for a few minutes and chat with us. And then on Friday, we will be talking about the classic Yul Brynner film, Westworld, as our Friday night movie discussion. So, if you liked this video, you think others might, then please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from my channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. Oh, kitty boy. What you trying to do? You're going to fall on my lap here. Not making it easy for me. Again, Thursday will be What Did You Get This Week. Friday night will be Future World. And this weekend I'll do some live draws. Earlier in the episode, I was talking about maybe doing some actual story pages. I don't know if I'll do that this week or next week. Times for the weekend are to be determined. Friday night will be 8 o'clock p.m. Thursday night will probably also be 8 p.m. Not sure yet, but we'll see. Alrighty. So for now, that should be all. Kitty's being a pain in my lap. If you want to reach out to me on social media, Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, Twitter at LewisBrightRaven2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Bright Raven, exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, recommendations, suggestions for topics of discussion, Quoth the Raven, LBR72@gmail.com is the address to reach me at. If I don't get back to you in a day or two, try LewisBrightRaven@yahoo.com. And Kitty, what are you doing? I don't know. Just scratch my head. That's all for now, folks. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a great night.